What's up, people? It's D73 Gaming Tech, and I'm back again with a little bit more news on the Wii U. As you can see, the Wii U is coming in the next few days. I think 5 days, or actually 4 days from now. And a little bit more news is popping its head out. This is bad news to the people it matters to the people that's just buying the system and not buying extra stuff for. Again, for the people that's buying extra stuff, you know what I'm saying? Not those guys. I'm talking about the people that's just buying the console and expecting the console to work on what it is and just going through that. As you can see on Nintendo News, they're basically talking about the Wii U and saying that the 8 gigabyte Wii U can only store 3 gigs of downloadable games and DLC. And as we know, Tekken Tag 2 is 16 gigabytes. So this obviously makes the system obsolete, the eShop for you obsolete when it comes to downloading actual full console games. So it's basically says here, if you decide to purchase the 8 gig basic unit, then you should be aware that you only have around 3 gigs of storage to use for downloading games, DLC, and game saves. The initial format of the internal drive for the Wii U takes up about 10% of the storage space before you've even used it. Then 4.2 gigs of that data is taken up by preloaded software, which is apparently set aside for the system and software data like me about the Mii's. Therefore, you only have around 3 gigs of space left for your own content. Now, for some people, this is going to be like, what the hell? But I've said this to you guys from the jump. The system wasn't going to come with 8 gigs or 32 gigs for you to use. So 10% of the hard drive is for the 32 gigs already used, minus 4.2 gigs. So basically, you're minusing already around 6 gig. You're minusing around 5 gigs away from it. So you don't really have 32 gigs. But I'm going to go ahead and shed some light on this for people that it matters to. Okay, so according, again, now we're on IGN. By default, the bearing updates says Wii U is coming in the future. The Wii U will allow one USB drive to be connected at a time. These drives cannot be disconnected while the Wii U is powered on, and the system will support up to 2 terabytes. Uh, Drives that will be used must be formatted by the system's data management system, meaning you cannot use this drive on a PC without a partition. However, all data can be removed internally and externally throughout the Wii U's OS. All right, so basically, what is that telling you? Also saying that the drives are more than USB 2 connected might not work properly. So it has to be USB 2.0. If you use anything higher than that, it's not going to work properly. So basically, it's like I've been saying, it's like a lot of other people have been saying that the Wii U is going to be able to use up to 2 terabytes of USB hard drive space. And this is obviously clarified. A lot of people already know this. It's already clarified by Reggie himself, saying that you can use up to 2 terabytes. So the storage situation is completely fixed. You could buy a USB 2.0 terabyte hard drive for like maybe $150. It depends on where you look. You could buy 32 gigs for like 15. You could buy a 700 gigabytes for like 100 or something like that. They all vary in prices. You can go look them up. They're pretty damn cheap. But that also now means that Nintendo was thinking about the cost of the system going out to you, but they weren't thinking about the person's pocket. So in a way, Nintendo wasn't thinking about the cost of the system, because you still have to go out and buy hardware for it. Because if you have the 8 gig memory, and that's only $300, and you start downloading DLC, you start downloading updates, you start downloading the browser, especially being that the Miiverse isn't on there, which means that Miiverse is going to take up even more memory. And then when you start downloading applications for it to work, then you start adding in more registry files, cookies, and stuff from the browser to the system itself. You start running out of memory instantly. So then that means by the time you even can download a digital distributed game or a digital game or DLC, that 3 gigs that you have left is gone, which means now you have to go out of pocket and go buy a standard SD card, and a standard SD card isn't expensive either. You could buy what is it, 128 gigs for, if you could find it cheap, maybe 100, or you could find it for 199 on what's it called, securedigital.com, sdcard.com, or microsd.com. So again, you have to come out of pocket. So instead of the system being $300 or $350 and a $50 controller, the the Pro controller, and then going out and buying the actual a $50 game, now you got to go out of your way and spend even more money on an external hard drive, unless you've already had an external hard drive. But now you basically have to format that hard drive using the actual system itself, the management system itself, as it says here. You basically have to format it onto the actual hard drive. Or what you could do is use your hard drive, partition it with certain softwares, and then making a certain amount of that hard drive for the Wii U. So if you have a 2 terabytes, just basically partition on your computer first, on your PC first, partition, allocate the entire drive to unallocated, partition the first part to a terabyte, and then when the system picks it up as unallocated, the Wii U will manage it and basically give you 1 terabyte of hard drive space for that. So if you don't do that, that means your entire hard drive isn't used for. You can't use it on the PC to downloading or putting anything on it. It's basically for the Wii U itself. And if, like I said before, if someone now budges the Wii U while you're trying to play your games on it, it's just going to shut off, or it's going to give you an error. So now you got to watch out if you have kids. If someone touches the hard drive, or if your cable is bent a certain way, then you basically cannot use that hard drive, or you start losing data. Or if you're in the middle of a download and your cable is interrupted, or if you're using if you have a cable for your hard drive that's too long, that lowers down the transfer bit rate. If it's too thin, it lowers the transfer bit rate. And if it's got problems with the tips bending, or the way you have it wrapped up, you start to lose even more. So again, it's Nintendo is thinking about you when you go out to buy the system, but not in the long run, because now you have to buy a memory card, or you have to buy an external hard drive. And yes, it is cheap, but remember who was buying this stuff. All the adults that's buying this stuff, there's no problem. The parents that's buying a $350 system, or a $300 system with a controller and a game, now their son can't add or download games to it. So now the parent has to go back out and spend up to $100 to make sure they don't have to worry about the kid downloading have download issues anymore. See what I'm saying? And yes, I understand you can find cheap hard drives. Please don't kill the comment section with go to this place. I'm talking about the general public, the parents that don't know shit about technology, that go to Best Buy and just buy a hard drive for their kid and be over with it. So stop being a little bitch about it. You know what I'm talking about. Again, this is DC1983, your gaming tech. I'll leave the links in the description as always. Peace out, people.